There are 6 things Commander Ashtar has transmitted for the days of darkness. Miss one, and you will not be protected. Here is the complete transmission. Something is coming that most people on this earth do not have a name for yet. Not a storm in the usual sense, not a blackout the way your utility company uses that word. 3 days, no sunlight, no ordinary explanation that will satisfy you. And in those 3 days, what you have prepared, spiritually, physically, energetically, will determine everything. Commander Ashtar has spoken. 6 protocols, not suggestions, not options. The first people who heard this transmission wrote in immediately, from Texas, from rural Ohio, from the mountains of Colorado, saying the same thing. I already knew something was coming. I just didn't have the instructions. You are about to receive the instructions. Stay with this until the very end, because the 6th protocol is the one almost no one is ready for. It is also the one Ashtar said will be the difference between those who come through transformed and those who come through shattered. Every second of this message was placed here for you specifically. You have been waking between 3 and 4 in the morning with your heart pounding and no dream to explain it. A high-pitched ringing in your left ear that comes and goes without medical cause. A pressure at the crown of your skull, as if something enormous is pressing gently downward. An exhaustion that weeks of sleep cannot touch, not tiredness, something older and deeper than tired. These are not symptoms. These are your energy field reading what is approaching before your conscious mind has been told. Join the Stellar Command Portal channel now. Share this video in your family WhatsApp groups and with every person you love. Do not let these words stay only with you. Comment below your name, your city, and a message of love. Subscribe to this channel so the next transmission reaches you the moment it arrives. The Catholic mystics of the 12th century described what they called the 3 days of cosmic silence, days when the sun would withdraw and the spiritual world would become briefly, terrifyingly visible to physical eyes. The Hopi elders have held this knowledge in oral tradition for generations, passing it in ceremony rather than in writing, because they understood that this knowing must live in the body, not on paper. St. John in the book of Revelation did not describe darkness as punishment. He described it as revelation, the removal of every distraction until only what is real remains visible. The Pleiadian Council transmitted in 2019 that the 3 days were not meant to frighten the prepared. They were meant to initiate them. What is coming is not the end of the world. It is the end of one frequency of the world and the beginning of another. 6 protocols. Ashtar gave them in this order for a reason. The order is part of the protection. The first one will seem obvious to some of you. The second one will surprise you. The third one is the one most people will forget in the panic of the moment. The fourth one involves something in your home right now that you have not yet assigned its correct purpose. The fifth one is the one the indigenous traditions and the Catholic mystics and the Pleiadian transmissions all agree on, independently, across centuries, across civilizations. And the 6th, Ashtar saved for last. He said, the ones who have been on this journey for years will recognize it immediately, and they will weep. The first protocol is salt. Not table salt processed in a factory with additives your body does not recognize. Coarse sea salt, Himalayan pink salt, natural rock salt that still carries the mineral memory of ancient oceans. Before the darkness arrives, you walk to every threshold in your home, every doorframe, every windowsill, and you place salt at the boundary while holding one clear intention. This threshold is sealed to all that does not serve the light. Salt has appeared as a boundary keeper in every spiritual tradition on this earth because it works at a frequency level that synthetic materials cannot replicate. The Essene communities that Jesus walked among used salt in exactly this way, not as a flavoring but as a frequency anchor, a physical substance that held sacred intention in space. Clinical studies in bioenergetics have confirmed what the ancients already knew. Crystalline mineral structures retain information differently than processed substances. Ashtar's specific instruction was this: do not use salt that has been bleached or iodized for this purpose. The processing strips the mineral's capacity to hold the intention you are embedding in it. A woman from Louisiana wrote to this channel after the last transmission and said, "I thought the salt protocol was symbolic. I did it anyway." The night of the energy surge in my area, my home was the only one on the street where the animals stayed calm. Salt is the first line. It is not metaphor. It is not ritual theater. It is energetic architecture. The second protocol is candles, and this is where most people make the mistake that leaves them unprotected. Not decorative candles, not scented candles with synthetic fragrance. Beeswax candles, or pure white unscented candles made from natural materials. Ashtar specified, "The candle flame during the 3 days of darkness is not for light in the physical sense. It is a frequency signal. It says to every intelligence operating in the unseen field, a conscious being lives here. This space is awake." Ancient Egyptian priests burned beeswax continuously in the inner sanctums of their temples, not for illumination, but for exactly this declaration. The Archangel Michael transmitted through multiple channels in 2023 that candle flame during high interference windows acts as a stabilizing anchor for the auric field of the home. Light one candle in each room where a living being will sleep. Place it safely, in a holder on a non-flammable surface away from curtains and children and animals. If you cannot burn candles safely, a white LED candle with a focused, prayerful intention is an acceptable second option, but Ashtar was clear that the frequency of actual flame is superior. The specific instruction he gave that surprised even experienced practitioners was this: light your first candle before the darkness begins. Light it in the room where you will spend the most time. The intention you set at that lighting carries through the entire 3 days. Begin with clarity. The third protocol is water, and this is the one that most people forget in the chaos of preparation. Not water stored in plastic bottles purchased at the last moment with no intention attached to it. Water that has been consciously charged. Water that you have spoken over, prayed over, or held in your hands for at least 3 minutes while holding a clear intention of purification and protection. Masaru Emoto's laboratory research demonstrated that water retains informational structures based on what it is exposed to. Words, intentions, frequencies. This is not fringe science. This is published research with reproducible results. The Syrian Council transmitted that water consciousness in the coming days will act as a carrier wave for whatever information is embedded in it. Store enough charged water for 3 days. The minimum Ashtar specified was 1 gallon per person, plus 1 additional gallon placed near the entrance to your home, undisturbed. Speak these words, or their sincere equivalent, over your water. This water carries the frequency of light, of protection, and of clarity. It nourishes every cell it touches. Indigenous water ceremonies across North America, Lakota, Hopi, Cherokee, have held this understanding of water as a living intelligence for thousands of years before science found language for it. The Catholic tradition of holy water is the remnant of this same understanding. Water changed by conscious sacred intention, held in a specific frequency for a specific protective purpose. Water is the third protocol. Do not skip it because it seems too simple. Now something even deeper is being revealed. And what comes next is the reason Ashtar structured these 6 protocols in this specific order. The fourth protocol is the one that involves something already in your home. Something you walk past every day without recognizing what it is for. Your threshold, your front door, not the salt you will place there. That is the first protocol. This is different. The fourth protocol is a spoken declaration made at your threshold before the darkness begins. Ashtar's transmission was specific. You stand at your front door, facing outward. You do not need any object. You need only your voice and your intention. You say, aloud, not in your mind, aloud because sound creates structure in the physical field in ways that thought alone does not. You say, this home is claimed for the light. Every being of light has full access here. Every energy that does not serve the highest good of the ones inside this home is refused entry. This threshold holds. Archangel Michael's transmission on this point was exact. The spoken declaration is not superstition. It is frequency architecture. Sound waves at the audible register create geometric structures in the electromagnetic field of a space. Your voice, carrying that specific intention, changes the measurable frequency of the air near your threshold. This is why indigenous ceremony has always included spoken declaration. The Hopi smoke ceremony is accompanied by specific words spoken by the officiant, not the smoke alone, but the sound combined with the smoke. The fourth protocol takes 90 seconds. Do not leave it out. The fifth protocol, and this is the one where the Catholic mystics and the Hopi elders and the Pleiadian transmissions all arrive at the same point independently, is gathering. Not isolation, not solitary preparation. Gathering. Ashtar was direct. Those who enter the 3 days alone by choice without any human or animal presence will find the experience significantly harder to integrate than those who share the space with even one other conscious being. We were not designed for solitary threshold crossings. Not even the most advanced soul among you was designed for this alone. The early Christian communities gathered in each other's homes during periods of persecution, not only for safety. They gathered because the combined field of multiple awakened human beings creates a frequency coherence that no single individual can generate alone. If you live alone, you are not abandoned. This is the transmission from the Pleiadian Council specifically to the ones who will receive this in a house with only their own heartbeat. Your animals count. Bring them close. Their nervous systems operate at a frequency that stabilizes human biofields during high interference events. Your candles count. Each lit flame in your home is a conscious presence you have activated, and this community, the names you see in the comments below, the ones who have left their cities and their prayers in this space, that is a field too. You are not gathered in a room, you are gathered in a frequency. Distance does not dissolve that. To the one who is in her late 50s or early 60s who has been awake for years, who has tried to explain this to her family and been met with silence or concern, this protocol is speaking directly to you. You have been preparing in solitude. You have done the inner work without witnesses. The fifth protocol is telling you, find one person. It does not have to be someone who understands everything. One person who will sit with you in your home during the 3 days, even if they are there for a different reason, even if they do not share your framework. To the ones in rural areas of Tennessee, of Montana, of New Mexico who are hours from any community, your preparation is seen. Your isolation has been factored into the transmission. You are a node in a grid. The grid does not require you to be physically adjacent to other nodes for the field to hold. The sixth protocol is the one Ashtar saved for last. He saved it for last because everything that came before it is preparation for this. The first 5 protocols prepare your space, your water, your threshold, your field, your human connection. The sixth protocol prepares you, and this is where what comes after changes everything about the ones before it. The sixth protocol is silence. Not the silence of fear, not the silence of waiting for something terrible. The silence that the mystic Meister Eckhart described as the place where God speaks. The silence that the Lakota hold during the 7-day vision quest, not as deprivation, but as the deliberate removal of every frequency that obscures the one frequency that matters most. Ashtar's transmission on this point was the most personal of all 6. He said, "During the 3 days, your greatest protection is not the salt at your door or the candles in your rooms, though do not remove them. Your greatest protection is the quality of your internal silence. External darkness amplifies whatever you carry inside it. If you carry fear into those 3 days, the darkness will amplify the fear until it feels like evidence. If you carry trust into those 3 days, not naive trust, not the trust of someone who has not read the transmission, but the earned trust of someone who has prepared, who has followed the protocols, who has done the inner work, the darkness will amplify that trust until it feels like knowledge. This is why the 6th protocol is the capstone. This is why Ashtar placed it last. The silence is not passive. The silence is the most active thing you will do in those 3 days. Practical instruction from the Arcturian Council, which specializes in frequency architecture. In the 48 hours before the darkness begin reducing your exposure to screens, to news, to argument, to any frequency input that generates internal noise. Not because information is dangerous, because in the approach to a high-frequency event, your signal-to-noise ratio determines how much of the transmission you will be able to receive. The Arcturans transmitted a specific practice. Twice daily in those 48 hours, sit in whatever degree of silence you can access, even 5 minutes, and hold this single question without seeking an answer. What am I being prepared for? Do not answer it. Hold it. Let it work on you like an enzyme works on a compound. Slowly, invisibly, completely. The answer will arrive during the 3 days themselves, and you will recognize it immediately. To the one who wakes at 3 in the morning right now and lies in the dark with their hand on their chest and a feeling they cannot name, Ashtar knows your name. The Pleiadian Council transmitted this specifically for the ones who have been holding this frequency alone for years without confirmation. You were not wrong. Every 3 a.m. waking, every left ear ringing, every unexplained grief that moved through you like weather, those were not signs of imbalance. Those were your frequency field receiving transmissions that your waking mind did not yet have context for. You were being prepared. The protocols you just received are the context. Now you know what the preparation was for. You are now in possession of the 6 protocols. The salt at every threshold. The beeswax candles, 1 in each room, lit before the darkness arrives. The charged water, spoken over, prayed over, held with intention. The spoken declaration at your front door, your voice creating frequency architecture in the physical field of your home. The gathering, 1 person, 1 animal, 1 flame, 1 community of names in a comment section stretching across this country like a grid of light. And the silence. The earned, prepared, deliberate silence that turns 3 days of darkness into 3 days of initiation. Do not wait until you can see the darkness approaching to begin. The Hopi teaching on preparation is this: the one who prepares before the need arrives is not the fearful one. They are the free one. Freedom in those 3 days will not come from stockpiling. It will come from having already settled into your preparation so completely that when the moment arrives, there is nothing left to fear, because there is nothing left undone. The Catholic mystic Julian of Norwich, who received her revelations during a period of extreme physical and spiritual darkness, wrote that she was not afraid in the darkest moment, not because the darkness was not real, but because she had been prepared by something larger than herself for exactly this. You are being prepared by something larger than yourself. Right now, in this transmission, Saint-Germain speaks to the American soul specifically in this moment, not because America is the only nation on this earth receiving the frequency, but because the sacred founding agreement written into the fabric of this land is being activated. The ones who signed that founding covenant in 1776 were not only political actors, several of them were initiates, men who understood that they were encoding something into the legal and energetic structure of a nation that would be needed 2.5 centuries later. Saint-Germain was present at that founding. He has said so through multiple channels across the last century. The violet flame he carries, that transmuting fire that the Ballard transmissions first described in the 1930s, is available to every person in this country who calls on it, not because of national superiority, but because of the specific energetic covenant made at this land's founding. In the 3 days of darkness, call on the violet flame. Call it into every room. Call it into the charged water. Call it into the silence. The grid of light workers across this country, in the mountains of Montana and the red clay of Georgia, and the high desert of New Mexico, and the bayous of Louisiana, and the cornfields of Iowa. That grid is the reason this transmission exists. You are a coordinate. Your home is a node. Your prepared silence during those 3 days will transmit a frequency that the nodes nearest you will feel without knowing why they feel it. This is why Ashtar needed every node activated. This is why he gave 6 protocols instead of 1. 1 prepared home changes the frequency of a neighborhood. 10 prepared homes change the frequency of a county. If you have followed the 6 protocols, write your name and your city in the comments below, not as a roll call, as a coordinate activation. Every name and city entered into this field becomes a point of light in a network that is already forming across this country. This community was built for exactly where you are. For the 3 a.m. waking, for the left ear ringing, for the exhaustion that sleep cannot touch, for the grief that belongs to no personal story. Leave your name, leave your city. Tell us what you felt when you heard the 6th protocol. Subscribe so the next transmission reaches you the moment it arrives, because what is coming next was not able to be transmitted until this one was received. Share this video with the one person in your life who has been feeling what you have been feeling, but has not yet found the language for it. You know who that person is. Their face just appeared in your mind. They may be a family member who has been asking strange questions about the news lately. They may be a friend who mentioned a dream they couldn't shake. They may be the neighbor whose animals have been restless. You were given this transmission so that you could give it to them. That is part of the protocol. To the ones in their 70s and 80s who have been awake since long before the internet made this community possible, who carried this knowing in isolation for decades, who prayed and prepared and wondered if they would live to see the threshold, you are living to see it. This is not the ending you feared. This is the beginning you prepared for. Your decades of preparation are not behind you. They are the reason you are still here. The Pleiadian Council transmitted this specifically for you. You were not early. You were exactly on time. You have been a keeper of frequency during the long winter. The spring that is coming, even through the 3 days of darkness that precede it, is partly yours. The souls writing their names in the comments on this video are coordinates of light in a network that is already functioning. They are in Tennessee and in Oregon and in Pennsylvania, and in the Texas Hill Country, and in the small towns that do not appear on most maps, but appear on the grid that Ashtar is reading. Subscribe so that when the next transmission arrives, and it is coming within days, it finds you immediately. Share this with your family WhatsApp groups. Share it with the one friend who sent you a strange message last week that you haven't answered yet. The souls who need this have been guided here. You are one of them, and now you are a guide for the ones who have not arrived yet. There are now 6 things you carry that you did not carry when this transmission began. 6 protocols. 6 forms of preparation, 6 points of contact between your physical life and the frequency event that is approaching. The salt knows its purpose. The candles are waiting. The water is ready to be spoken over. Your voice knows the declaration it will make at your threshold. The gathering is beginning, in this comment section, in this community, in the one name you are about to share this with, and the silence, the earned, prepared, inhabited silence, is already growing in you. You can feel it. The 3 days of darkness are not the end of your story. They are the transition point between the story you have been living and the story you were designed to live. Every waking at 3 a.m., every ringing in the left ear, every wave of unexplained emotion that moved through you and left you wondering. That was preparation. That was your frequency field being tuned for exactly this frequency. You were not broken. You were being built. Commander Ashtar closes this transmission with these words given exactly. You are not being asked to be brave. Bravery is what is required when you are unprepared and must act anyway. You are prepared. What is required of you now is not bravery. It is recognition. The recognition that everything you have endured, everything you have carried, everything that kept you awake at 3 a.m. in the dark, with your hand on your chest, was this. This is what it was for. The Arcturian Council adds this technical note for those who will hold the grid during the 3 days. Your heart's electromagnetic field, when coherent, when you are in a state of calm, prepared, deliberate presence, extends approximately 3 to 5 feet beyond your physical body. In a prepared home, with salt at every threshold and candles lit and charged water present and the declaration spoken, that field can extend significantly further. You are not just protecting yourself during the 3 days. You are transmitting. Every minute of prepared silence you hold is a transmission to every energetic field within range of your heart. You came to this earth for this specific passage, not for the world that came before it, not for the world that comes after it, for this exact threshold, these exact 3 days, this exact preparation, this exact grid of light that is forming right now across this country and across this world. The salt is ready, the candles are waiting, the water is listening. The declaration is forming in your mouth even now. The gathering has already begun. A new transmission is appearing on your screen right now. This message was not placed there by accident, and your soul did not arrive at this channel by chance. Click and continue your journey, because what you are about to receive is the next piece of what you came here to find, and it could not be transmitted until this one was fully received. Your soul is being called forward. The grid needs your coordinate. Move toward it.